Time is money in the t-shirt business, and that's exactly why we're comparing the Procolored F13 Panda against the xTool Apparel Printer to find out which is the fastest and best DTF printer for you. On paper, they both do the same thing, print DTF transfers for your shirts. But in reality, one of these machines is over 1,000% faster than the other. I'm going to break down exactly what sets them apart, from print size and software compatibility to the all-important safety features and price. By the end of this video, you'll know whether you need the speed of the xTool or if the steady pace of the Procolored is enough for your craft room. Hi everyone, I'm Kerri. You might know me as the author of Cricut for Dummies or from my blog, kerricraftsit.com. On my YouTube channel, Kerri Crafts It, I cover it all. DTF printing, sublimation printing, Cricut crafts, and laser engraving on everything from wood and leather to jewelry and tumblers. I love sharing my favorite best-selling projects and breaking them down into easy steps so you can take those ideas and grow your own small business. But I need you to listen closely to this next part. DTF printers are not cheap. These two models range from nearly $3,000 all the way up to $8,000. That's a massive investment. So do yourself a favor and watch this video all the way through. You need to understand exactly what you're paying for and what you're losing with each option so you don't end up with a serious case of buyer's remorse later. In this video, we're going to break down the differences in workflow, speed, software, safety features, and the price tag to help you find the best DTF printer for your specific needs. We'll figure out if those automated xTool features are actually worth the extra cost, and I'll show you the real pros and cons of the Procolored machine that most people miss. But real quick, before we race these two printers side by side, if you're new here, you might be asking, what is DTF printing? It stands for direct-to-film printing. It's where we print a special ink onto a film, melt a powder onto the back, and then heat press it. It works on cotton, dark fabrics, and almost anything else. Both of these machines do this, but they do it very differently. Let's start with the workflow and the physical footprint, because if you're figuring out how to print DTF at home, space is a huge factor. The xTool Apparel Printer is pretty big. It's about the size of a standard washing machine or dishwasher. However, it takes advantage of saving vertical space because a printer stacks right on top of the shaker oven as one unit. The Procolored F13 is different. The printer itself is about the same size as the xTool printer, but it uses a separate oven and a separate area for powdering your prints. This means it takes up more horizontal space because you need tables to hold all of this stuff. You have to print the design, cut the film, walk it over to a separate bin to powder it by hand, and then put it in a separate oven to cure. It's a lot of manual work compared to just clicking print on the xTool. The xTool is fully automated. You just push one button and the machine does the rest. It prints, cuts, powders, shakes, and bakes the DTF printing film all by itself. By the time the back of your design is finished printing, the front is already being cured in the oven. It's so much faster and more streamlined. Now we need to talk about speed, and this is where the battle for DTF custom printing really heats up. The xTool Apparel Printer is dramatically faster than the Procolored F13. While the Procolored F13 can print about 4 square feet per hour, the xTool can produce up to 50 square feet per hour. This means the xTool operates roughly 12.5 times faster. In practical terms, what takes the Procolored a full hour to print, the xTool can finish in just a few minutes. This huge difference in speed makes the xTool much better suited for higher volume or commercial DTF printing, while the Procolored is better aligned with small scale or custom runs. It's not just magic, it's the hardware. The Procolored F13 runs on an Epson L1800 printhead. That's older consumer-level technology. The xTool, however, uses dual Epson i1600 heads. These are commercial-grade beasts designed for high-volume factories, and you get 2 of them, not just 1. Safety is a huge deal, and a common question I get asked is DTF printing safe? The honest answer is that it depends entirely on your setup. You have to remember that when you heat up DTF powder, you're basically cooking plastic and glue. This releases something called TVOCs, or total volatile organic compounds. I know that sounds technical, but think of them as invisible chemical fumes that hang out in the air. Breathing this stuff in can cause bad headaches, dizziness, and long-term lung irritation. This is where the Procolored gets tricky. Because you have to scoop the powder by hand into an open bin, that fine dust goes airborne instantly. To be truly safe, a regular cloth mask is not enough. Those fumes can go right through it. You really need to be wearing a heavy-duty respirator, gloves, and goggles, basically dressing up like you're in a hazmat suit just to make a shirt. The xTool changes the game because it keeps everything fully enclosed. It connects to the Safety Pro AP2 air purifier, which isn't just a fan or a tiny little filter. It has 6 layers of filtration, including a massive HEPA filter for dust and high-density activated carbon for chemicals. This system traps 99.99% of dangerous TVOCs, meaning you don't have to look like a sci-fi character in a gas mask just to work in your room. And that safety is something that you just can't put a price tag on. The biggest issue with any kind of printer, especially sublimation and DTF printers, is clogging. White ink is heavy. It settles like concrete if it sits still. To be fair, the Procolored F13 does have a white ink circulation system in an auto cleaning mode that runs every 10 hours. That's a great feature. But the xTool takes it a step further with 24/7 smart cycle maintenance. It doesn't just flush ink on a timer, it actually automatically moisturizes the print head from a separate tank to keep it wet, and it uses an AI camera to constantly check for clogs. That combination of auto moisturizing and AI monitoring is the real secret to keeping those commercial heads alive without you having to babysit them. Now, hardware is important, but let's talk about the software and the daily workflow. The Procolored F13 uses standard RIP software. It's purely functional. It processes your image for printing, but it has 0 design capabilities. You have to design everything in Photoshop or Illustrator first, or upload designs from a design website like Creative Fabrica. Also, it only works on Windows, so Mac users, you're out of luck. It also has a smaller maximum printing area of 13 inches by 16.5 inches when using the oven. Technically, you can print up to 31 inches long for a single print job, but you'll have to cut it into smaller pieces to fit it in the oven. Also worth noting is that it's a cold peel film. That means that after you press your shirt, you have to wait several minutes for it to cool down completely before you can peel the film. xTool Studio, on the other hand, is packed with features that you won't find in typical RIP software. First, it has AI Make, which is an AI-powered tool designed specifically for crafters. It acts like your personal design agent. You can type in an idea, and it turns that text into a ready-to-use design. You can also use built-in AI editing tools to clean up the image. The background remover is instant. The magic eraser fixes all the little details, and the AI-enhanced tool makes your images clear and ready to print. You can also add text, shapes, and different elements to your canvas to create your own custom designs right in the software. Another awesome feature is a mockup generator. Before you waste any expensive film or blanks, you can actually see what your design looks like on real products. You can change the size, the color, and even the type of blank. So if you want to see what this Grinch design looks like on an extra small black t-shirt, a red hoodie, or even a canvas bag, you can visualize it instantly. It takes all the guesswork out of sizing your design. It also helps you spot and avoid mistakes, like accidentally having a solid white background behind your design that you need to remove first. xTool Studio offers a larger maximum print area of 14 inches by 18 inches. The film xTool sells is called a hot peel film, but it's actually recommended to peel while warm. Peeling while it's blazing hot can mean the glue isn't fully set, but you also don't need to wait minutes for it to cool all the way down to room temp. I wait about 30 seconds and then peel. It speeds things up a lot when you're cranking out orders. All right, I wanted to see if the xTool Apparel Printer is really as fast as it claims, so I decided to do a real-world DTF printing test. I wanted to make matching family Christmas t-shirts, so I grabbed this cute design from Creative Fabrica and sized it to fit everyone's shirt. 2 of the shirts are printed at 10 inches wide, 1 at 9 inches, and the smallest at 8 inches. To keep the comparison fair, I printed the same 10-inch design one at a time on both printers. First on the xTool Apparel Printer and then on the Procolored F13. After that, I printed the last 2 designs on the xTool and queued up the job so that it would automatically start the next print as soon as the first one was finished. I love that feature because you can just hit print once and then let it run. No need to babysit between jobs. You can keep an eye on the status of your jobs on the touchscreen. Now, here's where the speed difference really shows. From start to finish, it took the xTool 12 minutes and 26 seconds to print, cut, powder, and cure all 3 designs. That's 3 full transfers completely ready to press in about 12.5 minutes. On the Procolored, it took 16 minutes and 5 seconds just to print a single 10-inch design. Then I had to manually cut and powder it, which took another minute, and cure it in the oven for 5 more minutes. So in total, it took about 21 minutes to print, powder, and cure 1 shirt using the Procolored. That means the xTool produced 3 finished shirts in almost half the time that it took the Procolored to make 1. If you're doing real DTF orders for a business, that speed difference adds up fast. It's a difference between finishing a big family set in under 15 minutes or spending over an hour just waiting on prints. All right, now let's talk about the price. First, we're going to compare the cost of just the printers, and then we'll look at the price for the full setup. The Procolored F13 on its own runs about $2,900, while the standalone xTool Apparel printer is around $5,600. But unless you already have equipment, you're going to need the full setup. The Procolored bundle with a smokeless oven, which I highly recommend, comes in right around $4,000. On the other side, the xTool all-in-one bundle, which gives you the printer, the automated shaker oven, and that medical grade AP2 air purifier, is going to run you closer to $8,000. Now, I know that's a huge price gap. The xTool is almost twice as much money. But remember the math, it's 12.5 times faster. And more importantly, you have to ask yourself, do you want to craft wearing a gas mask? Because with the Procolored, that's the reality if you want to truly be safe from all of those toxic airborne chemicals. With the xTool, the enclosed system protects you. As the saying goes, health is wealth, and you've only got one set of lungs. You have to decide if saving money is worth the risk of breathing in toxic fumes, or if it's worth it to pay extra to work in a clean, safe environment. So here's the verdict. If you're just crafting for fun or doing small custom orders once in a while, and you don't mind wearing safety gear and waiting longer for your prints, go ahead and get the Procolored F13. But if you're looking to start a DTF printing business and want to churn out hundreds of shirts a week without endangering your health, the xTool is worth every penny. That speed and safety will pay for itself in labor savings and peace of mind very quickly. I've linked both machines in the description so you can check out the current bundles and see which one fits your budget. If you decide to go with the xTool, I actually have a special gift for you. xTool gave me an exclusive code, Kerri. Here's how it works. When you grab any Apparel Printer Bundle, make sure you add a roll of film to your cart too. Then enter Kerri at checkout and it will deduct the cost of the film, making it completely free. The best part, this code stacks with other promotions, so even if they're having a massive sale, you can still get your free film on top of it. If you want to see more tutorials on how to make money with these machines, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.